Hello all. Today we'll have a discussion on income statement part 3. I hope you are continue to see all the videos. I suggest somebody who is seeing this for the first time, please go through income statement part 1 and part 2 before you see this video, so that you have the continuity in understanding what is that we are talking about. So today we'll have a discussion on what are the concepts that guide us in preparing income statement. There are basically 6 concepts. The first one is accounting period concept. The second one is conservatism concept. Third one is realization concept. Fourth one is matching concept, followed by consistency concept, and the last one we'll be talking about is materiality concept. So let's go to the very first concept, that is accounting period concept. That means when we prepare the income statement, the title of the income statement goes like this: income statement of so and so, for example TCS, Tata Consultancy Services Limited, for the quarter or 6 months or 9 months or year ending on the particular date, right? So this is critical. If we don't specify this, the income statement is meaningless, because we prepare income statement in order to answer the question what has happened to the revenue, expenses and income of the company in a particular period, right? So that means this period, this date is very relevant. So where it is ending on, we should also know where it has started. So that means, is it for 3 months, is it for 6 months, or is it for 9 months, or is it for one particular year? We need to be very clear about, right? Another thing which I would like to tell you here is this: when we talk about year, we basically talk about 2 types of year here. One is calendar year. All of us know it starts from 1st January and ends on 31st December. And the second one is financial year, which starts on 1st April and comes to an end on 31st March 2020, right? Unless and otherwise stated, we assume that the company has prepared its financial statement for the financial year, right? So we have to look at only the current period. That means if it is the year, we need to look at what has happened in the last 12 months with regard to expenses, revenue and revenue, so that we can get to know what is the income for the period. If it is for the quarter, then we need to look at only for the 3 months. If it is for 6 months, we need to look at what has happened to the company in terms of revenue, expenses and expenses for that period of 6 months, right? So that means I have given a tick mark. It is only the current period we have to look at. That means we should not look at the previous period. Similarly, we should not look at the next period, right? If we are talking about yearly income statement, which is ending on 31st March 2020, financial year it is, that means we are not going to talk about what has happened in the previous year, that is 2019. Similarly, we are not going to talk about what has happened to the entity in the next year, that is 2021, right? Yeah. So what is the rationale behind this? We need to know business is a going concern. That means there is a date of birth for the business, but there is no date of death for the business, right? Say we have come to the world, right? You are here, I am here. We are going to be here for some years, right? After that we will leave the world, but the business is not going to die at all. So that means it is a going concern. What does it mean? That means, for example, the salaries to be paid to our staff in the month of December might not have been paid by the end of that month. Rather, it is going to be paid in the next month, right? Similarly, the electricity charges, similarly the telephone charges, things like that. Similarly, we have to receive the revenue from our customer. Today we are talking about competition. So that means we have to sell our products on credit. So that means some of our customers may take time to pay money, right? So that means we may receive the revenue of the previous year in this year. That is possible, right? But we need to know what has happened in that period, right? So that means only current period items, right, need to be reflected in the current period profit and loss statement, otherwise known as income statement, right? So when I talk about this, in terms of revenue, I have these items, right? So one is our accrued revenue, right? So that means we have earned revenue, but we have not yet received cash. So that means, do we have to consider that in the income statement of the period under the heading of revenue for the year or for the period? If you ask the question, answer is yes. I have given a tick mark, right? Yeah, because under accrual accounting, it does not matter whether we have received cash or not. What is important is whether revenue is earned or not. If it is earned, then whether we have received cash or not is not important in deciding whether we are going to include that number in the revenue for the period, right? Similarly, the next item is deferred revenue, right? So what is deferred revenue? Deferred means postponed. That means we have received the cash in this year, for example, financial year ending on 31st March 2020. Some customer has paid us in advance, right? But we have not yet delivered the service. That means revenue is not yet earned. We have not delivered the product or we have not performed the service, right? So that means revenue is not yet earned. So if we have received cash but revenue is not yet earned, then this is called deferred revenue. That means that is not the revenue for the period. I have given an into mark. It's not the revenue because we are yet to earn our revenue, right? Similarly, if you look at revenue of the previous year, that means we had already performed in the last year. We had delivered the product or we have performed the service, but customer has not yet paid the cash, right? So that means he is paying in this year. That means we had already booked revenue in the previous year. That means it is not going to form part of revenue for this period. So that is what you have to understand when I talk about deferred revenue and accrued revenue as well as revenue of the previous period received in terms of cash in this year. We have to follow the same rule for expenses. That means expenses of the previous period, suppose if you are going to make the payment in this period, it does not qualify to be expenses of this period. Are you understanding? So that means expenses and revenues of previous period. Similarly, expenses and revenues of the next period. For example, sometimes we may pay insurance for the next period, right? That is known as prepaid expense. Are not going to be the expenses of the current period. So that means only current year revenue and current year expenses will form part of current period income statement. So this is what the accounting period concept is all about. So let's go to the next concept. Next concept is an interesting concept. It is conservatism. That means the question we are asking is this: when should a company recognize revenue in its income statement? Right? Conservatism is nothing but playing safe. That means expect all losses but never expect any profit. Right? That means expect all losses but no profits. That is what conservatism, right, in a kind of simple words. Sometimes people say it is nothing but overstatement of expenses and losses and understatement of revenues and incomes, right? Let me give you a very good example which we are all used to, right? For example, when it is raining, we used to take umbrellas to our workplace or the colleges, right? One of the days it may not rain, but some of us will still carry the umbrellas with us, right? So that means what? We want to, play safe, right? We are ready, we are prepared for meeting the worst scenario or worst, activity or event, right? That's what conservatism is all about, right? How does it translate into accounting rules? There are two rules which we have to follow under conservatism. Rule number one is this: recognize revenue only when it is reasonably certain. These two words are very important, right? Reasonably certain. That means we have to make sure that we have delivered the product to the customer, or if it is a service entity, it has to make sure that it has performed the service substantially. And the customer is expected to give us either cash or he is going to pay us later. So that means receivable. So selling price is measurable, delivery has taken place or performance has taken place, customer is going to make the payment either now or later. If that is the case, then only you can recognize revenue, right? Otherwise you should not recognize revenue. The next rule is recognize expenses once it is reasonably possible. Okay, so that means when we are talking about revenue, we want to be at most sure. That means we are not ready to accept there is revenue recognition even if there is an iota of doubt. But when it comes to expenses, the moment we hear, we are going to recognize that in the income statement. For example, we hear there is a fire accident, right? That means we may get the insurance claim, right, for the goods which are damaged by the fire. But nevertheless, when we are going to prepare the income statement, we are going to quantify, right, what is going to be the extent of loss in the current period. So this is what we have to understand when we talk about conservatism. So the key is when. The key is when we are going to recognize revenue, right? So the next concept is realization. Conservatism talks about when we are going to recognize revenue, whereas realization talks about how much of revenue and expenses we are going to recognize in the period. I can give you two examples here. The very first example is trade discount. Let us assume there is a showroom which sells shirts to men, okay? So the list price of the shirt is, branded shirt is INR 1000, Indian National Rupee 1000, and the guy is giving trade discount of 10%, so that means INR 100. So the net selling price amounts to 900, right? So when we talk about revenue, we are not going to take 1000, rather we are going to take 900 because there is a discount right at the time of sale which is known as trade discount. Please note that trade discount is not entered in accounting record books. The next example I can give you is bad debts, right? So competition makes us to sell product on credit. When you are selling your product on credit, for example for INR 1 lakh in that period, there is a possibility that a part of them may not pay you, right? So let us assume based on your historical experience, you know that it is going to be 5% of your total credit sales for that period, right? So that means INR 5000 can be deducted right at the time of selling, right at the time of recognizing revenue. Thereby, the net revenue for the period is only INR 95,000. So this is what realization concept, right? I repeat, conservatism talks about when we should recognize revenue, whereas realization talks about how much is the revenue we are going to recognize in that period. So the next concept is matching concept, right? So it talks about matching the expenses incurred in generating the revenue for the period. So there are basically three questions which we have already gone through. So the question here is, what are the expenses that need to be entered in the income statement for the period? If you look at income statement part 2, I have given a detailed description. Let me just give you in a summary manner here. Question number 1 is there a relationship between the expense item and the revenue of the period? If the answer is yes, example is cost of goods sold, then that is the expense in the current year or current period income statement. Second question is there an association between the expense item and the activities of the period? Example is interest on debt, example is depreciation, example is electricity charges, telephone charges or any other utility. So that means the answer is yes. That means more the period, more is the expense. That means that is the expense in the income statement of the period. So that means I have given a tick mark, right? And the last one is there a future benefit for this expense item, right? Example is R&D, research and development. Another example is training and development cost. Answer is no. If the answer is no, then that is the expense for the period. So that means question number 1, the answer should be yes. Question number 2, the answer should be yes. Question number 3, the answer should be no. So that means yes, yes, no, then that is an expense for the current period. Otherwise, no, it is not the expense for the current period, right? So this is what matching. So that means matching concept. In other words, like two sides of the coin, right? On the one side you talk about revenue, the other side you talk about the expenses, right? Unless and otherwise you have two sides to the coin is not complete. Same is the case when we talk about matching concept. Let's go to the fifth concept quickly. That is consistency concept, right? For example, you are saying cricket match, so that means you want to know who is the consistent player, right? So that means the guy who is going to live up to your expectation is a consistent player, right? Similarly, when we talk about accounting records, right, companies are given with options. Please mind that accounting never force you to do the same thing again and again, right? Accounting gives you options. For example, when I talk about depreciation, a company can either follow straight line method of depreciation or it can follow, right, accelerated method of depreciation, right? Similarly, when it comes to inventory valuation, a company can follow either first in first out method of, right, inventory valuation, or it can go for weighted average cost method of inventory valuation, right? So whatever you do, you have to make sure that you are going to do the same method or take the same treatment again and again in the future periods, right? So that means what is the rationale here? Rationale for consistency concept is this: frequent changes make confusions to the readers of financial statements. So that means whatever is the method you are going to follow, you are expected to follow that again and again so that nobody gets confused, right? So that is what consistency concept. And the last one is materiality concept. Whenever I teach this in the class, I just ask a student, right? Normally I go to the student who sits in the first row, I take his mobile phone and then I will tell him or I will ask him in front of the class, will you mind if I am going to, right, put this down and damage it, right? He normally used to say, yes, I mind it, okay? And I used to ask him, right, what is the cost of this phone? He used to tell me it's around 20,000, right? So that means I used to ask him, right, what is the level of loss which will not make you cry, right? Correct? That's what materiality is all about, right? So that means accounting is not bothered about trivial items, right? So trivial matters should be ignored. So that means when it comes to expenses, if it is right equal or greater than INR 5,000, it can be considered as a level of significance, right? So that means petty expenses should be ignored. For example, when it comes to electricity charges, we have to prepare the income statement for the month ending on 31st, for the year ending on 31st March 2020, right? We cannot wait till we get the electricity charges or telephone charges for that month, right? Similarly, stationery expenses, right? We don't wait or we don't go to everybody's desk and find out how many papers Navani has used, how many papers Priyan has used, how many papers Sangeeta has used, right? So what we do is whenever the purchase department is going to purchase the stationery, at that time itself we are going to consider that is an expense for the period, right? So this is what materiality is all about, right? So we have come to the end of the session. The summary is this, right? There are 6 concepts which are helping us in preparing the income statement. Concept number 1 is accounting period. Concept number 2 is conservatism. Concept number 3 is realization. Matching concept is the 4th one. Consistency is the 5th one. And the last one is materiality, right? Hope you guys have enjoyed seeing this video. See you in the next video. Take care. Please see the videos continuously so that it will be useful to you. Thank you so much. Bye.